Incoming tide, 2 hours to go. 53 degrees at 8:30 on October 12th. Happy birthday, big brother, Robert Allen Kelly. That's Steve, some relation to Steve Kelly. And T-Rex, out the door, weather, and more. Plenty of weather. Alto cumulus, not quite Castellanos, but instability and moisture at mid-levels of the atmosphere. Not exactly it is a Thursday beauty right now, and yesterday was kind of a Wednesday beauty, but there have been raindrops and even snowflakes in New England in the past 36 hours. So it does not qualify, backing too close door, it does not qualify as Wednesday and Thursday beauty. So that means we don't have to say, you know what that means for the weekend. It's been a mixed midweek, and I think it's going to be a mixed weekend. Let's start at the top. Mount Washington this morning, obscured in frozen fog and just some really light freezing drizzle. Another 0.1 inch of snowfall in the last 24 hours gets us to 0.8 inches of snow. It's been since Sunday, so last 4 days. And remember, in June, we started off with 8 inches of snow on Mount Washington. So far, June snowier than October on Mount Washington. Unusual in weather is usual. We have an unusually powerful North Atlantic block. We have an unusually beautiful mackerel-ish sky. So we talk about this a lot. Negative North Atlantic oscillation. There's the red line. Notice it's about as low as it's been. Real strong blocking, and storms are just stalled. It happened with Idalia. Remember that? To start off September, we were down in Wellfleet. The waves just coming day after day. Idalia actually backed from Labrador towards Nova Scotia. And then Ophelia came up, stuck around and around and around and around and around, and I think that storm stalled to our east. Part of this block is still remnant DNA from Ophelia, and then Philippe took it to the next level. Philippe went all the way into Western Ontario for the last 3 days. Remember, Philippe is that system that came in from Africa and merged with our system from the Pacific Ocean last week, and it's still the deal. There it is. That's the swirl north of New England this morning. You can see there are a lot of clouds in New England this morning, and now that remnant of Philippe is only slowly moving to the east, and it's going to pull some shenanigans and maybe save our weekend. Here's the surface map. There's weak Philippe to the north, and once again, no isobars in New England, so very light wind, but there are a lot of little fronts: occluded front, warm front, cold front. And that's the remnant of all that mess that has been in Canada. Top of Mount Washington, I forgot to mention, the wind now, talk about unusual. The wind was in the south, from the south and southwest last several days when it was colder. It was in the mid-20s. Now the wind is from the west, and usually when the wind comes in from the west on top of Mount Washington, it gets colder, not warmer. So that's that big blender in the sky we talked about, blended all the air together. Now, once this remnant of Ophelia gets to our east tomorrow, we're going to see the wind increase. Isobars come back tomorrow. This is the leading edge of some almost typical cool air for this time of year coming at us with wind tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then I really have to widen out here and show the big picture because I can't get it on any of my other sectors. So I'm going to have to go to this continental view and show you what happens with the interaction of our weekend storm and the remnant of Philippe. So our weekend storm's coming along out of the Midwest, right? There's one more image of it on our Weather Prediction Center graphics. All right, now we widen out to that continental view. Our low gets bucked off to the south because Philippe is actually stopped and it's strengthening. Look at the barometer, the central pressure on that thing go down 985. Meanwhile, the storm getting shunted off to the south of New England, mostly missing this weekend is the latest call. It's Thursday, time to backtrack. Anyhow, that low is steered off by more than just the surface storm. There's an upper level low with it too. But then they merge. Watch this. They merge and deepen down to 966 south of Greenland, part of the Greenland block. And then, watch this. Another trough comes at us from the south, and a Wednesday storm is possible next week. And then an inside runner storm next Saturday also. So next week we're going to have perhaps nasty weather midweek and the weekend. That would buck my theory of how the weather is usually different midweek and weekend, because weather systems generally cross the nation in 3 to 5 days. But to have unusual in the weather department is usual. The storm that went through Florida yesterday, this was flagged by the National Weather Service, Hurricane Center last week, to perhaps be a tropical system. It didn't really go tropical, but it is a massive system over the Bahamas, and it's going to miss us, well, Bahamas all the way up to the mid-Atlantic states, misses us off to the south and east also. That one's a forerunner. And then the one coming out of the middle of the nation that also came from the Pacific Ocean, that's the one supposed to miss us to the south. It's still a close call. It's still a big storm, and it's just the direction it's moving. So that 500 millibar flow we've been showing for so long, that big blender over southeastern Canada, you can see that upper level low going off to the east, but it never really departs. So it was supposed to either merge with the one coming in from the west and the south, or they were going to stay separate, and the one from the west and the south was going to come in here. But now it looks like the old Philippe upper level low is going to just take and shoot that next system coming out of the Midwest off to the south and east. In other words, our upper flow is going to keep on coming from the northwest, which is usually a dry weather direction. So something usual there. We're going to have usual dry weather from the northwest for the most part of New England this weekend. So hope you didn't cancel your plans based on any of our forecasts. I don't think Oysterfest in Wellfleet was ever threatened, but what about Squidfest, Dennis? How's Squidfest look? And then that trough kind of breaks off, and part of it slides off to the southeast and comes back at us from the southwest on Wednesday. That's the midweek. And then take it to next weekend. Wow, that's a major full latitude trough deepening east of the Mississippi River, or along the Mississippi River next weekend. So big problem forecasting next week also. Even though we're not really in a high barometer, that is a high barometer looking inversion out there. You see that brown? That's emissions, low level inversion, and some pollution, some smog trapped in our lower atmosphere. Andrew said he caught a blue fish this morning out there. He was out at sunrise. I got the image of him and the crow. And did he say he caught a tautog or something like that? I can't remember. Oh, bait fish. He's got a bunch of bait for later. So hopefully I'm going to go fishing with Andrew. We spent yesterday traveling back to the south. Nice, interesting sunset as usual. And then Steve disappeared, and I was trying to watch the opening of the Bruins game. I had to go look for Steve, but I did see the opening ceremony of the Bruins. How much am I allowed to lift from this, from any SN? Are they going to mind? Are they going to do a copyright on me? Anyhow, to see Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito and Johnny Busick and Jerry Cheevers and all the heroes of mine from when I was 5 to 10 years old out there celebrating 100 years of Bruins tradition. That was fabulous yesterday. And, you know, heroes Bobby Orr and also Don Kent, who was right there. He lived right there, so. T-Rex, what is it? What are you barking at? I know there's so much going on here. The number of critters we have around here, digging holes and whatnot. Look at that. I'm not even sure what they are. I mean, a rabbit doesn't do that. And then there's one in here, gradually thinning out the garden. Look at that hole there. Can you see it? I gotta get rid of these cages. So, anyhow, look at that. Yeah, I got lots of critters here. You probably wouldn't want to see them up close. That's all. Yeah. And more now. The travel day and a little bit more on the bees. 11 a.m. Sun just broke through the clouds, turning into a Wednesday beauty. Uh-oh. Just kidding. But gorgeous. Got a mist peak foliage up high and hasn't even been achieved down low. 320. Great color, regardless. Just gotta know where to look. certainly know how to decorate around here. T-Rex, back to the lowlands. And sunshine and rain. .7 degrees at 1:37 into the land of the blue sky. Nice afternoon. Love watching these bridges get built. So interesting. And by the way, I don't know where peak foliage is. We didn't see it at all. Now it's green. With blue sky though. Very pretty. Can't tell what the foliage is doing though. Blue sky, cumulus. Bruins home opener tonight. Let's go to the Bruins game. New season. Go Bruins, go Celtics. Red Sox? No. Patriots? I guess there's still kind of a chance. Behind bars. Yeah, it was quick. Back on the water. Not very quick through Boston, but quick from Vermont. It took an hour to go through Boston. You enjoying this weather, T-Rex? Foliage is yet to come to our neighborhood, so we have something to look forward to. Let's wait for the foliage to come to your house. Hey, Tony, let's go outside and have some clams and Tonys. All right, we're home and back in Weymouth anyway, home. I love when the sun angle gets low. Hi, Steve. You can see the buoys light up nicely, and they're all almost empty. There's a little current there, a little slick. And of course, Leif's boat's gonna be in probably last. And gorgeous. Hear the crickets, losing the sun off to the south. How about a little time lapse of sunset on the Fore River in Weymouth? Ah, gotcha. Steve, say hello. Ah, never mind. Yeah, get it. Steve escaped and he loves coming down the road in this direction. Oh! Gosh, everything's scary now. 7 o'clock, the Bruins game is starting. The last thing I wanted to do was chase Steve. I was 8 years old. I remember this.
One of the first great lines in Bruins history. He was a 3-time Stanley Cup champion in 1929, 39, and 41. Representing number 5, Dit Clapper. Please welcome his grandson, Gregory Teperch.
Greg.
Number 8, Ken Hodge. Number 16, Derek Sanderson.
Come on, all right. Haven't seen you in a while.
Number 21, Don Marcotte.
The heroes of when I was in middle school.
And number 30,
Elementary
Jerry
school.
Cheevers.
All right, elementary school. This is awesome.
Hockey immortality. After putting home the Stanley Cup clinching goal in 19.
So exhilarating watching TV in 1969.
He remains one of the greatest hockey players and one of the most beloved Bruins of all time. Please welcome number 4, Bobby Orr.
I shook his hand, one of the greatest handshakes. My dad, Don Kent, Tom Ellis, Bobby Orr.
Surrounded by Bruins hockey history.
All great, strong handshakes.
258 of our most diehard fans here tonight. We officially open our centennial year celebration. Alumni, please raise your sticks to begin our celebration.
Awesome. That's it. This is the highlight of the season for me right now. Oh, great. Okay. I think I'm going to get some copyrights on this one. The good old days. Were they really that good? I think they were.
Welcome, fans, to the start of our 100-year celebration and the 2023-24 season of Boston Bruins hockey.